Listen, if you're watching this right now, I need you to understand something very clearly. This is very important. You did not click on this video by accident. Not at all. You've been praying and asking God to give you some clarity. And that's a reason why you're here right now. Because somebody is watching this right now is smiling in public, but breaking in private. That alone makes you want to stop and listen to this. And I know that feeling oh too well because I've lived it. I've been through that. I've been in a season where everything looks normal on the outside, but inside, y'all, I was tired, overwhelmed, and questioning everything. And maybe that's you right now. You feel like you stuck. You're in a place in your life that nobody else really sees what you're going through. It's like you're trying to hold everything together while everything feeling like it's falling apart at the same time. But I came on here today to actually talk to you, not as a video, not as content, but as another person, one to another. There were days I felt when I woke up, I didn't have much. And I just sit there, thinking, no motivation, no clear directions, just thoughts. And those thoughts wasn't always positive. So we only human. Sometimes it was like, why I'm even doing this? Why I'm even here? Why does nothing seem to be working for me? Did I mess up my life? Did I make too many mistakes? And I had no quick answers. And you probably feel the same way. Just silence. Just you and your thoughts. It was an actual battle, y'all. And that silence is what's hitting you the hardest right now. Because it makes you feel like nobody actually, sees you. And worse, like God might have moved on from you. But I need you to hear me clearly. This is an actual lie. Satan wants you to think that God has abandoned you. Because silence is not abandonment. Silence is actually a process. Like, slow down. Like, telling you, let me slow down before I get ahead of myself, before I actually get ahead of God. See, silence is where you're being built, not where you've been being forgotten at. Now I want you to really get real with yourself about your life. See, there was a season for me, I could get real, where I felt like everything was actually, collapsing at once. Still going through it. Money tight, stress was heavy, and my mental was at its capacity. And I feel like I was being stretched thin, I was trying to stay strong in front of people. Behind closed doors, I was exhausted. I was going through a mental pressure, mental battle, fighting my thoughts. And then I remember thinking, I don't know how much more or how much longer I can keep carrying this. But I didn't realize in that moment is that rock bottom is not the end of your story. It's actually your foundation for you to actually rebuild your life. Because when everything is stripped away from you, you finally find out what was actually real inside. And I found out what was real in my life. And I'm going to tell you something that might hit you. It needs to hit you. You're not weak. You're just feeling overwhelmed. You're not broke because you're tired. And a lot of people hear that over and over, but they don't never land. They never stick. But I just want to let you know you're human. And pressure doesn't come to destroy everybody. Pressure comes to reveal who you can be and who can be built. So let me tell you and let me talk to you. So let me talk to you right now, directly to you, because I know somebody's watching this is overthinking everything. And you thinking about your age, your money, your mistakes, your delay, what you're facing right now. And you comparing your life to people who look like they have everything figured out. I once was there. I was looking at people like, why I'm in this headspace, why I'm in this situation, and they over there got everything fixed, actually figure out. But I want you to listen to me carefully. Just because it looks that way, looks can be perceiving, but you're not behind in your life. You're not behind in life. You actually in a development stage, and development feels like delayed to people who don't understand your purpose. See, there's a time where you feel like you're stuck. And there was many times in my life that I actually felt like I was stuck. Like, for instance, I felt like nothing was moving. Like everything I put effort to, I was actually hitting a wall. And I had to make a decision. Either I let, frustration break me, or I keep moving even when I don't feel strong, because I know where my strength comes from. It actually comes from God. And I'm not going to lie to you. Even in that process, it still, made me feel a certain way, heaviness, even because it didn't always feel right. But I learned this, y'all, and I want you to learn this. I know something is so powerful. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is survival. See, we all can hold on to motivation, but when you actually get discipline in your life, it's going to help you on the days when you feel like you're not trying. It's going to help you on the days when you don't feel like praying. It's going to actually help you on them days when you feel like you don't want to believe. But life doesn't pause because you have feelings. Not at all. So I started doing something different. So you have to do this. And I'm just telling you what I learned. I kept going anyway, even on those slow days, even when I felt tired, even when I was unsure, even when I was feeling like I can't do this anymore. Because I had to, actually realize something most people would never learn. You don't need to feel ready to start changing your life. You just need to move. And a lot of people are stuck because they're scared to move. Now, let me say something that might, actually hurt your feelings a little bit. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to fix your life. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your friends, not your timing, not the perfect opportunity that magically gonna appears. It starts with you. When you put one foot in front of the other, that's when it starts, when you actually make that first movement. And I know that sounds heavy, but it's also powerful, because it means your life, your future is not out of control. It's in your decision. So let me speak to the person who feels like they lost time. I don't want you to look back and think about everything that you didn't do. I want you to think about everything that didn't work, everything that fell apart, everything that feels like you're too far behind. This is the moment that's going to actually make you. So listen to me. You didn't lose time. You gained lessons, because you're not starting from scratch. You're starting with wisdom. And lessons was only, to teach you and build with wisdom. And wisdom is what's going to build your next level. So that version of you that you're trying to become is built from everything you survived. So think back on all the stuff that you went through. It didn't break you. It positioned you to be where you're at now. You just had to take authority and just take things back and look at everything that you survived, everything that you avoided. I want you to really think about that, because I say that, I want to say something, real from my own journey. See, that was a moment where I had to sit with myself and be honest, not pretending, looking that man in the mirror, not acting strong, just real life, going through some real life stuff. And I prayed like I never prayed before. I called on God, because I'm like, God, if you real, you got to show me. Not fancy words, not perfect prayers, just honesty. Saying, God, I don't know how I'm going to fix this, but I need your help. And I didn't get an instant change. I got something that's very profound, something very deeper. Strength not to quit. And y'all can see that if you've been following me for a while, I ain't quit yet. I'm not going to quit. I had clarity to keep moving. Even though the devil tried to distract, he comes trying to steal, kill, and destroy. I don't let him. And that changed everything. When the moments I feel broken, the moments I feel like I can't keep going, I know God spoke to me. And this didn't happen overnight. It happened step by step, day by day, grace by grace, and decision by decision. And that's how the real transformation starts to happen. Not in one moment, but in a consistent survival that turns into discipline. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I just want to say this clearly, because it's on my mind. You don't need a perfect situation to start improving your life. You just need one decision. One. Do you hear me? One decision can change to stop staying the same. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Simple as that. And I know that sounds simple, very simple. Like what he just said. And it makes so much sense, because simple is what people avoid, because simple requires action. So let me slow that down. Simple requires action. You don't need more thinking. You need to move more. You need more movement. You don't need more overthinking. You need execution. Execution is what you need. And I'm talking to you like this because I've been stuck in my head too long, thinking too much, waiting on a perfect opportunity, waiting on God without even making a sacrifice or surviving, second guessing everything. But at some point, you have to choose yourself. Start choosing yourself, because the life you want is not waiting on a perfect timing. It's waiting on you to make that actual decision. And I'm going to end it with this, and I want to end it with something real, because somebody's out there that woke up this morning saying, why you woke me up, God? I've been wanting to give up. But I'm telling you, you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still watching this, because your story is not finished. You are not forgotten by God. You're not done, and you're not too far gone. So don't let nobody tell you anything different. You are in a preparation stage. God had to isolate you from a lot of things. And I know it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels like mental pressure. It feels heavy. It feels like you can't catch a break. But that pressure you feel right now, that weight you carrying, that silence that's sitting in your chest, hey, it's shaping something in you that comfort never could. So don't quit here. Don't walk away from the process. This is your process. Don't give up in the middle of becoming who you're meant to be. I'm speaking to me too, because I had to really internalize this. I had to really sit with this, because what you're doing and what's coming next requires a stronger version of you. And I'm saying that with my chest. And you're already becoming it, even when it doesn't feel like it yet. Even when you're not feeling like you're participating 100%, it's still happening. So I want to encourage, and I want to inspire somebody. Hey, just because they don't look like what it is going on outside, hey, the transitioning has to happen in the inside. So let it happen, because you're still becoming. So if you're new to the channel, like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, turn on the post notification. And if you're struggling in your faith, I have a community. I have a school store called Faith Talk University, where it's right now on sale for $5 a month, where you get discipline, where you get Bible lessons, where you get homework, where you got to do the work. And I sharpen your thought pattern. I help you in those moments where you feel broken, because I once was broken. So I take time. It takes patience to, sit with somebody. So on school, I have a community where you can schedule one-on-ones. When I do a Zoom call, video chat, whatever you need, I'm there. So if it's prayer, if it's just need somebody to be a listening ear, I'm there to counsel. So, hey, if there's something that you're interested in, I'm gonna put it down in my my description. So hey, like I say, y'all have a blessed day, and y'all keep striving for greatness, and you still becoming.